Hello and welcome to the Other 14 FC podcast. I'm Alex, Crystal Palace fan.
And I'm Tom, a West Ham fan.
And this is your podcast for everything not top six. Tired of your team being last on match of the day and not getting the flowers they deserve? But that's about to change. Tom, what do we have for the listeners this week?
Quick goals, own goals, knuckleballs and thunder bastards. Forest battered Spurs, West Ham fall to the villains, Bournemouth got wacky at Old Trafford and more. How you been, mate?
Still ill. I'm going to have to blurt out the coughs throughout all of this. It is being horrid. I know there's a super flu going around and I feel for anyone that has it because this shit is just not disappearing. But yeah, I'll probably not help myself by going to Dublin.
Bus windows, mate. I told you to stop licking bus windows. It's so gross.
It probably hasn't helped. I went to Dublin for Palace's European game as well, so I've not really given myself the rest I need.
So you should apologise to the Irish people for spreading superflu, but just me.
Mate, what can you do? Oh, I'm going to miss it and all that Guinness. How about yourself? How are you holding up?
Good man. I saw some family over the weekend. Did a Christmas trail with my niece and nephew, which was very wholesome. And other than that, I've just watched copious amounts of Attack on Titan as I am deep in my anime bag right now. So yeah, I've smashed through 3 seasons in about a week. So it's so good.
I'm more worried about the hentai you're smashing through in the evenings, mate, than the fucking anime. Oh fuck. Okay, should we leave it there and then get into the games?
Let's do it.
Okay, and we're back. So Tom, where do you want to start this week?
I know you'd love to start with my misery, mate, but I think there's another team who have been sort of in that relegation mix who had probably the more headline-grabbing result of the weekend, and it's Forest 3, Spurs 0, and my first note is just battered them.
They absolutely. It could have been 5-6-0. My main note was I didn't see this one coming for some reason. In my head, I was like, I know Spurs are shit, but I was just like, Forest have blown so hot and cold recently. Are they really going to turn up and do it against Spurs? And they did what Brighton did against them, it seemed, to Spurs the whole game. They just completely owned them, pretty much.
Yeah, it feels like, I mean, based off this and the Liverpool game and that Forest are very up for these big games where they're the underdogs. Dyche can get that sort of get his team drilled into sort of upsetting the opposition, and in this one they really upset them. The first goal, we jump straight onto it. That's just prime what Sean Dyche wants his team to do, is just to bully them off the ball at times. And Sean Dyche teams don't really press that high that often, but when you have the physical advantage of someone like Ibrahim Sangare over Archie Gray, then yeah, Dyche was right to give him, let him off that leash kind of thing, and he just nicks the ball. And then I have to give Sangare a lot of props for him for squaring that to Callum Hudson-Odoi, because he could have shot Sangare. He gets a great goal later in the game, and he has scored one recently, but goals aren't his game. So he had the mindset to pass it into Cho, who just had a tap in.
Yeah, it did feel like he had kind of overplayed it a bit, didn't he, when he got too close to the keeper.
It was kind of stretching.
Yeah, a bit boys versus men with Sangare against Archie Gray. But yeah, brilliant to get across to Hudson-Odoi, finishes easily. And I think that was a quick one of the first quick goals of the weekend as well, wasn't it? But it was, I think from there, it just felt like it must have been game over for Spurs in their head, because they had nothing really coming back at Forest at all, did they? And then, yeah, it just really shows. And for the second, Hudson-Odoi, do you think it was a shot or a cross?
Well, I was going to ask you the same question. He looked very cheeky after. I mean, it's a wonderful strike, but the way he looks after is either, I mean, you could say it's either he knows that was a cross that just kind of caught the wind, or just caught off his boot and just caught everyone out, everyone surprised, or he's just gone yeah, that is such an audacious shot to try, and he's pulled it off. That's why he's looking cheeky.
Get fucked! It's never a shot. It's never ever a shot. I'm not having it. It is a cross not gone wrong, cross gone very well for him. But you're right, he's cheeky. He has his little finger up, doesn't he? He's like, yeah, I meant that. That's me. I'm that guy.
Exactly. I mean, you were right. We said it a couple of weeks ago when they played Everton. Forest are built to play with a lead. When they didn't have a lead in that game, you could tell it impacted them a lot. In this game, once they got the lead, and there was a really big save from John Victor on his Premier League debut, subsidising for Matt Sells, who had a groin injury. There was a shot from Archie Gray, who was looking to make up for him getting the ball nicked off him, and John Victor saved it well. But then from that point onwards, it was just one-way traffic. It felt like, really, from Forest. And as I say, they're built to like play with a defend a lead, but they didn't even defend it. Like, they just attacked this lead, and it was it was no surprise that Hudson-Odoi got one. He was absolutely cooking in this game. Like, he kind of was dropping into a 10 position at times, like popping up all over the place, and especially with that 2-goal lead, they just started feeling themselves quite a lot. And then
it wasn't even like it was just counter-attacking like the whole
no,
time.
The area of the pitch as well. It was like every highlight was just Forest popping up like in and around Spurs box, creating loads of chances in this one. 3-0 kind of flatters Spurs, as you said. Like, and the third is just an absolute thunder bastard from Sangare, who is a real unsung hero. I think like Forest fans love him, especially now that he's got a couple of goals. But like he's a defensive midfielder. It's funny because I knew he was scoring when I was watching the highlights, and I was watching him when the highlight for his goal happened, and he's kind of hesitant to go forward because of his like nature as a defensive midfielder. He was like kind of just creeping towards the box, and Spurs just vacated the midfield, like just like around the edge of the box. They just left so much space. Everyone was following the runners into the box, and Sangare just was absolutely free. And I think it was Hudson-Odoi who got the assist for him, but it was just like rolled it into his path, and I'm sure the crowd was all screaming shoot, and yeah, he's absolutely caught it, and it comes off the post as well, right? So it's like even a nicer like finish. It's just perfect.
He swazzed it in, is the way I described it. Like, almost outside the boot, just swazzed, keep a no chance, off the edge of the post, back of the net. Like, watched him a bit, but mainly, like say, I come to notice him more because of the goals. But I feel like there's a bit of a Czech Kouyaté almost of him. Like, holding midfielder, that'll get the job done in the heart of midfield, but then also has a, like, say, Thunderbaster moment as well. I'm sure he scored a few Thunderbasters for your West Ham, didn't he? Kouyaté.
Yeah. A bit of a cult icon, Kouyaté. Like, not one of those like top level players, but just goes down in sort of club history. But yeah, Sangare, they're going to miss Sangare. He's going to go to AFCON with Ivory Coast, and that's going to be a big miss for them in that central midfield position.
That's it. I mean, we're going to be saying this for quite a few teams, I think, because there's a lot of teams losing people to AFCON. I think Palace go away quite likely. We're just losing Sarr, which, I mean, he's probably one, if not our most like dangerous player. But yeah, Forest could have had more, should have had more in this game. What are you doing right now if you're a Forest fan? You've had a brilliant week. You've had a win in the Europa League, had a win in the Premier League. You've got a big buffer now between yourselves and the bottom three. Is it all getting a bit rosy?
I still think they're looking over their shoulder a little bit, but they've got Fulham next, and that's a game that they'll be looking at. Like, as I say, they've got up in recent weeks against Liverpool. They sort of scraped by Wolves, and they got a big win in this one against Spurs. But in that, there's losses to Brighton and Everton as well. So I don't think it's like you said earlier. They are hot and cold a little bit. Let's see how they turn up against Fulham. It's a little bit similar to Leeds. Like they've turned up against big teams. Let's see if they can do it on the less heralded sort of games, and what like the results look like then. But that 5 points is now that it's given them some breathing space, and they're only 2 points off Fulham, so they could be looking quite comfy if they can get a victory in that one.
That's it, isn't it? I think if you're a Forest fan now, you're looking at extend that gap and then just go on this European adventure and enjoy the absolute shit out of it, because they're placing themselves quite well across the board, and in Sean Dyche they've probably got a strong manager to build some foundations for them moving forward. So yeah, I mean, from where we're talking, what, 2 months ago? Is it a month ago?
About
2 months?
About 50 days, like about a month and a half or so, just under 2 months of Dyche.
Yeah, and how bad it was under Ange, like, yeah, it's happy days if you're a Forest fan, I think. Cool, let's move on to a team that they've made that 5 point gap against, your West Ham. Was it, how hard
Sound less happy, bro.
How heartbreaking was it the Saturday, this game? Wasn't
Nah,
it?
Sunday,
Sunday.
Sunday. Yeah, this one was really like disappointing and frustrating just because I thought in the second half West Ham played like Aston Villa off the park for most of it. Like I thought we were the much better team for like 30 of the 45 minutes in the second half.
In the second
And
half, really? I got
yeah,
the feeling that you guys were on it in the first half, but just fell apart a bit in the second half because
the
that's
first half was weird because we started so fast. Like obviously got the
yeah,
fastest goal of the Premier League season, which I know has been a trend over the last couple of weeks. Like it's just getting
weird
one up
trends
to
that keep
every.
happening.
Yeah, it's
Like
just like it legit. Like we didn't have any of like within the first minute until 2 weeks ago or something, and now there's been like four. So either teams are slow to start because now like the season's like almost in the midway point where people are tired and that there's games coming thick and fast. Some teams are maybe starting with a like Villa in this one. Villa fans will be very frustrated with how they started because they were just kind of dilly dallying on the ball, let West Ham and Fernandes press them into making mistakes. Konsa makes that mistake, and Fernandes. It's a great like finish from Fernandes to like beat Bezo from that angle. And from a West Ham point of view, from there, you're like, great. Like we never start fast. That is a like that. I think that's the earliest goal we've scored in over a decade, sort of thing. Like it is insane for us. And immediately we sat back and invited pressure onto us, and it
what you're
was like
saying, that's what Nuno does, doesn't it? He takes that lead, and it seems to be the constant trend we've been seeing for you throughout, like happening against Leeds as well, doing it a while back. It's not a good trend to be having at all. And
it's
it's
not.
on, I'd say, under Roy, week in, week out. It'd be like, we get that goal, cool, shut up shop. We're going to hold on to this lead for 89 minutes. And it's just like, well, that's never going to happen, is it?
Never going to happen. No, like immediately, and Villa were there for the taking in this game. I think one big thing for Villa is I don't think they played well in this game, but they won, and that is the sign of a team in a title race. Like that is the hallmark of a team who will challenge for at least a European position come the end of the season, if not a title race. Like that's the old trope about title winners. They win ugly sort of thing. This one they didn't play their best football and they won the game. Like the first goal they get very fortunate. It just comes off Mavropanos' massive head, but it was
Big,
coming. Like West Ham was sinking and inviting pressure, and all it took was a cross and just a deflection off Mavropanos' moon head, and yeah,
it's a
goes
very
past Areola.
big Mav doing bits again. But yeah, it's such an unlucky one. Like when I watch the replay, he's like eyes closed, like not even looking. He's just trying to play the man. Actually, yeah, I feel for him in that one. We can't really be blaming him at all for that. But yeah,
Yeah,
it is very unlucky. But it's Watkins putting the pressure on, I guess. And then Bowen puts you back in front, looks offside, but Konsa massively playing on. Because when I first saw the goal, I was like, Bowen's got to be offside. But
but
Konsa's
they
like,
yeah they actually checked it for the Diouf, like from the original like ball over to Diouf. That was what the actual one, because yeah, as you say, like Bowen was well onside when you see
yeah.
Konsa is actually like 2 yards behind him because he's coming back like from defending that area.
Did you see
Yeah,
Konsa put his hand up for the offside, though, as well? I was like, that's well cheeky. I don't think he's doing it for the due one either, is he? He's doing it for the
no,
one
for
where
sure.
it's just
The
like,
Diouf one is like he's like neck and neck. Like it was a very tight call, and he's onside. But like yeah, Konsa is just they just do that. They just do that for every like just hoping that something's gonna get them out of jail because Konsa was at fault for the first one. Probably at fault if he's playing Bowen onside for this one because Bowen was like 2 yards away from the other players,
yeah.
the other Aston Villa players. Taps in Freddie Potts' shot and it's 2-1. It's like okay, great. Like, and then in the second half, just sort of a few minutes after, like kind of dull start to the second half, and then Rodgers just capitalised on poor defending for the first of his second ones, and it's 2-2.
Another one, it's weird defending, isn't it? Because I was looking at it, I was like, it's like all the West Ham players expected the cross to be deeper into the box. So they've all run past Rodgers, who's just held his position. He's then got the ball and slotted it away. I just found that one a bit weird all round because you don't usually see like all the defenders running away and the man like peeling off that well just to be in the centre of the box, basically on the penalty area.
You haven't watched West Ham defend very much, have you? And then, like, as I say, West Ham played really well in the second half. I thought The only problem was we were absolutely crying out for Callum Wilson or someone like in a striker role because we were dominating the possession, we were creating loads of chances, but we clearly didn't have someone in that area of the pitch to finish them off. Like Lucas Paqueta can do a job in that striker role as more of like a pressing, facilitating kind of forward. He's not going to get you goals in that position. He'll harry the defenders, but he's not going to finish off chances. He's never been a prolific goal scorer in his career. And it took until the 81st minute after Rodgers gets the third for Nuno to bring Callum Wilson on, and everyone around me was screaming for like a change. Emery was making changes, bringing on players like Donyell Marlon and that, and it was clear like some and yes, Bowen is a hair offside from making it 3-2. Like he does get the goal, but he is just offside. Like I've made my feelings clear about those kind of offsides. They're like kind of go against what the original rule is brought in for. We're just sort of getting down to like t-shirt sleeve length and stuff, and it's just not for me. But fair enough, that's by the rules. But then Villa, Morgan Rogers just took it on his own, and in real time at the game, because I was where I'm stood at the other end of the stadium from this goal, I was basically looking at it from like directly behind where Morgan Rogers was and at his shot, and I was like, I think Ariola should do better there because it's not in the corner. But then I watched it back and it's like he's knuckleballed it so much, and it's the dip that it gets on it. Like I think Ariola thinks it's kind of just going over, and then it just swoops in behind him.
Mate, that's exactly it. So it was just a Morgan Rogers strike that we were seeing like all of last season, like the dangerous Morgan Rogers strike we expect. I saw it even in the replay. I was like, is the keeper gonna have to do better? Then you see the replay. It's so far over Areola, like when it goes past him, you're just like, what can you do? Like you just got to accept it's an absolute like worldie of a strike.
Yeah, 100%, and yeah. So Villa get the win because after that it just completely knocked the air out of West Ham's lungs. Like they made a couple changes late on, but it was like the damage was done. We had our chance. Like when we were pressing to get the winner, like that was when the changes need to be made, and that was when you needed to kind of like galvanise the team a little bit more. That once we didn't look like equalising late on really against Villa, and that's another win on the bounce for Villa. Like they're right in that title race now.
Yeah, it's great. It's just 3 points off the top. Never would have seen it coming for Villa fans, so they must be absolutely buzzing as well, like Forest fans. I mean, we praise Villa quite a lot. I mean, for you guys, how are you feeling? What you think this Christmas period's going well for West Ham at the moment? How scared are you? How far caught adrift you could be with what is it? City next? I can see.
Yeah, City next. I mean, we really kind of needed this one. Like with how we played, I feel like we should have got something out of the game, but unfortunately, because it's just like would have loved that draw against Brighton. Should have been a win. Should have won that game. Like we're now looking back on those draws with obviously a couple of losses in there and going right. We kind of needed that one because, as you say, City next. Like we play Brighton again, and we got Fulham, I think, in the Christmas period, and it's like, yeah, it's gonna be difficult. Like I still think Leeds, and I still do think Forest will be in there. Like in there, there's so many games over the next couple of weeks. We'll see, but yeah, we need to start picking up like wins because the other teams around us are picking up points.
Yeah, I mean, Leeds have us next, so I'm sure we won't do you a favour. Don't worry, mate.
I'm sure you'll be hoping that Leeds win just to come on here.
Come in here with my shit-eating grin. I love that we start a podcast when Palace are 5th in the table when you're 18.
Absolute worst time in my life.
Oh, cool. Okay, should we move on to our next game then? Usually we follow wins first, don't we? But I think this game probably deserves to be a bit higher than one of the wins for the other a couple of the wins for the other 14 sides. United 4, Bournemouth 4. Just goals, wasn't it?
It's just bonkers, like how the game went through twists and turns, lead changes, and that. It was just and some of the goals in it were really really nice, like the free kicks and that. Like it was just a crazy game, and it could have been more.
I know it's Bournemouth are just that team. If you're going to tell anyone that's never watched Premier League to watch a team this season, it's got to be a Bournemouth game because they're either coming back from 2-0 down, they're either losing from being 2-0 up. They're just an exciting team to watch completely. And yeah, no difference in this game whatsoever. But United did seem to be all over Bournemouth to start, which I found a bit surprising. I thought Bournemouth would be a bit smarter in that way, to just be like, we could probably go at United, we can go with Semenyo and see what's going to happen. But yeah, United kind of suffocated them to begin with and got a goal for a reward, didn't they?
Yeah. I think I was trying to like looking at this game and trying to think what Bournemouth's issue is, and me, I was quite bullish on the changes that they made, like the replacements they brought in for their defense, like Petrovic, Troffer, Diakite, etc. And I think like you do have to point to that as like one of the like issues with Bournemouth this season, because they're scoring goals isn't a problem. They're probably one of the highest goal scorers in the league, I'm sure. Like they routinely have been in 3-3s, 4-4s, etc. They've putting the ball in the back of the net hasn't really been an issue, but they have been conceding way too many goals. And Petrovic in this one, I think he should do better with a couple of them. Truffert and Diakite are at fault for one of the later ones, but for not clearing their lines. I also think they do have a slight issue with the connection between defence and midfield. Like, they generally sort of play Tyler Adams and Alex Scott in midfield, and Tyler Adams is a more defensive midfielder, but do I think he's that good? Not really. I think he's someone that they could upgrade on if they want to. If they want to give Alex Scott maybe a bit more license to roam and go forward, then I think they need someone who's a bit better defensively than Tyler Adams. He gets about, he's scrappy, but I don't think he's that great as a defensive midfielder. I think he has lapses of concentration and stuff. And yeah, we can go through the goals. Like as I said, Petrovic should do better with the Ahmad one.
It's a weird one, isn't it? Because he like bounces it onto the floor, doesn't he, just for it to pop up to Ahmad.
He sees it late.
Yeah, but it's a weird thing where I just haven't really seen the keeper somehow just like almost basketball it, pop it up for the header. So I was like, how the fuck's that actually happen? But yeah, not much more to talk about. Let's go into the Semenyo one, because I think it's a really good run and an insanely good finish to make it 1-1 from that angle. Like, that is someone shit hot right now, isn't it?
Well, you say that it's his first goal in 11 games, so
really?
Yeah, he's not that shit hot. Like, I mean, it shows his quality because he has been cold in recent weeks, but and he also doesn't score from the right-hand side that often. How often do we see Semenyo cutting in from the left on his right foot, or powering it into the far corner? This one, he's on the right-hand side and powers it into the far corner. Like, that's kind of like the Semenyo trademark, I think. Is that that's what his bread and butter. But yeah, that's his first goal in 11 games. So
11 games? Are you serious?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm bad at this. It's all the goals that fucking Evan Nilsson's been taken away from him from being offside.
Exactly. Yeah, he has been scoring. They just keep getting chalked off.
Then you got the Casemiro goal from the corner. I feel it's not great defending, but it's kind of also a good corner. It goes over the keeper to the back post. Not much.
Just before that, though, there was a foul a supposed foul from Scott on Bruno Fernandes that just was never a foul, and it leads to the free kick that leads to the corner, and it's just one of those Bruno Fernandes being a rat situations where he's just like felt some contact and goes down like he's had his foot sliced off.
That's not going to be the first time we hear him referred to as a rat, because I've also got that in my notes as well. Then let's go into the Evan Nilsson equaliser. Not a finish I expected from someone who I know has been blowing cold. But you're about to tell me
he's onside. Hey, well done, Evan Nilsson.
I didn't expect that finish from him, at all. I thought he would scuff it. He's had so many chances recently. To be fair, you're about to tell me he scored 11 in the last 2 games, and I'm fucking got no fucking clue.
No, you're bang on with that one. Evan Nilsson has been cold. This was his first goal since August. But this is Evan Nilsson's bread and butter as well. Like, this kind of finish. Yes, you're completely right. Like, he's not been taking those chances this season since obviously August, but he caught everyone else cold after the halftime break on this one. Like, all of the United defence was second to that. They were still warming up after having their halftime oranges and that. And it's a really nice finish from Evan Nilsson. Hopefully it means he can kick on, because Bournemouth do need that. They can't be relying on Krupi who's still so young. They need Evan Nilsson, who is their main striker, to be banging in goals, or at least contributing more than he has been over the last 3 months.
I think he finds that form because we've seen it before last season, haven't we? Like he can definitely get there. It's just maybe it's just not like in the colder months at the moment. We're just like Ebbs used to be like for us. Then we have Tavernier makes it 3-2 with a lovely free kick. He can definitely hit a ball, can't he? But the one thing I wanted to point out is that Bournemouth players that are not 1 metre away from that United wall. So
Were you shouting as a free kick
yes,
as a
I was.
versus Chelsea?
I couldn't believe how bitter I was that straight away it was the first thing that came
Well,
to
I
my head.
thought I'd seen this come up a couple of times in recent weeks, and I almost brought it up, but I was like, let me not set him off. He'll just go talk about Palace for 5 minutes,
Yeah, I'm
and
just
like we're supposed to be talking about another team. But yeah, when I saw this one, I was like, I think he's going to mention this one,
yes,
like on his
very
own.
very bitter. That's all I have.
I mean, just shout out to Tavernier. Like, I think I shout him out all the time, but just because I think he is such an underrated player in this Bournemouth team. Like, he was at the heart of all of Bournemouth's attacks in this game, and it's such a quality free kick. Like, I'm a big fan of away teams scoring free kicks at Old Trafford. It reminds me of Dimitri Payet lashing them in. So, I've got a soft spot for it.
So I'm the one that talks about my team too much. Fuck it, hell, literally straight onto the bench part. Absolute arsehole for you.
Hey, I've got to reminisce. West Ham are in the mud, man.
But no, Tavernier is a player I'd love to have at Palace. Like, absolutely seems like he does. He does a job, but then he's always popping up with goals. Absolute, like, exhilarating goals as well. Can thump that ball for fun. Cool. Then move on to, the rat again. Bruno, I mean, it's a top bins free kick, isn't it? But he is a rat. So let's just.
But did you not feel that ball kept hitting Bournemouth players in the hands, and it wasn't like they were all handballs, but it was like I swear there was like two different shouts for like handball in the penalty area because the ball did hit a Bournemouth player's hand. It's one of those it's those situations where it's like deflected onto them or
Yeah.
something, or like their hands like Scott's hand was in his body sort of thing. So they're not handballs, but it was like, all right, this was like the third time that the ball hit a Bournemouth player in the hands, and I was like, it was a matter of time before the ref was going to give something. And I think because this one was outside the box, he was like, yeah, all right, I'll give this one. Because I don't think this one was really egregious. Like, I don't think it was like one of the worst handballs like you'll ever see. I think it's quite a similar situation where it's like the ball pinballing around like players, like juts up and it hits, I think it was Smith in the hands, and like, okay, fine. Like I just felt like the ref was going to give one eventually, and then it's a good free kick from the rat.
Yeah. Absolutely outrageous behaviour. Yeah, then 4 minutes later, Krupi pops up and gets the equaliser, and he's popped up.
No, you missed the Cunha goal that made it 4-3.
Oh shit! Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so you went through. So that was the free kick was 3-3. This game was so bonkers that Alex has lost his mind already.
No, because I was thinking of the Cunha one where he scuffs the bar, and that one I had in my notes. That's why I went past, but straight underneath that. Yeah, you got
yeah. This is the one that I blame Truffert and Diakite for, like, in particular, because neither of them clears their lines when they have the chance, and they leave themselves exposed. And the ball sort of pinballs a little bit so that Cunha does get the chance, but they had chances. Both of those players had chances of clearing their lines when they weren't defensively set, which they should have taken, and they didn't. They tried to go for the control possession kind of clearance and left themselves exposed. And then Cunha makes it 4-3, and then. Yeah.
I just love the meme where it's like he thinks he's won the game. Cunha definitely thought he'd won the game at that point. And it's brilliant there. Yeah, literally like 4 minutes later, Krupi silences Old Trafford, and you could actually hear it in like the highlights. It was completely like nothing apart from the Bournemouth fans. And I loved those scenes at Old Trafford. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, and then I don't know why Cunha thought he'd won the game. Watching the highlights, it felt like there was another 10 minutes being played. Because Krupi gets that goal, and then Brooks has two chances to score the winner. Like the first one, he really should score, but then the second one, he has a second chance as well, and he doesn't get either.
Mate, how big is it though that Bournemouth are going for the win at Old Trafford, like in extra time?
They've got a great record under Iraola there. They've won there for the last 2 seasons, and they were in a position to win this one, and were going for the win.
But I just think it's mad because you'd think, the way they've kind of dropped down the table a bit, they're not even worried about respect the point at this. They're like, any game we're going to go out and win it, and I think that's a lot of mid-table teams are doing this season, and it's showing there's no need to be scared of the big six, is there?
Yeah, I think that's probably led to this really topsy-turvy table as teams going for the win rather than taking the point sort of thing. And that's why we've got such a volatile table where people are jumping up to like 5, 10 positions each or dropping. There's so much change. And Bournemouth, as I say, but that's the thing, Bournemouth, they're not defending well. Like they've conceded 28 goals this season, but they've scored 25. So like they are scoring at a high rate, but they are conceding, unfortunately, at a higher rate. And that's what they need to. The volatile football is exciting. It's great for the neutral, but I'm sure there are Bournemouth fans thinking, can we keep this one a bit tighter and trust our attack, who are very good at winning us the game, like rather than just going hell for leather and trying to win 5-4 every week. Like,
yeah, I know exactly what you mean. But yeah, they're going to keep keeping it interesting, aren't they? Cool. Should we move on to our next game then? Burnley 2, Fulham 3.
Yeah, let's go back to the wins. Yeah, this one, I just like. I feel bad for Fulham, but for starting with Burnley. But again, I feel like Burnley created loads of chances and just didn't. And then again, it's not enough. Like they scored 2 in this one. Yes, they're chasing the game at times, but again, it's not enough. They don't get a result from it. How often have we said that about Burnley in recent weeks?
Well, yeah, if they could finish their dinner, they would have easily had a draw, maybe even a win out of this game, which is it's worrying, isn't it? Because how long can that go on for? Are they going to be able to bring someone in that can finish? But it's not going to be a one-person change for it altogether, is it? I think they're just not getting a rub of the green with the finishing. They're not just what do you do?
This one they get the finishes and then the defense doesn't turn up. Like in the first one for Smith Rowe, it's just shocking defending. Like Quinchely Hartman has to clear that ball, but then also Smith Rowe and another Fulham player are right there with no one within 5 yards of them. So like it's not all just on Hartman. Yes, he has to clear the ball because he's the first man, but then also where are the rest of the defenders marking people in the box? Like no one's near him.
I mean, we'll skip over the Burnley goal because basically the fucking Fulham defence parts like the Red Sea for them to poke it home.
But that makes it 1-1. That's over Chukwu goal that makes it 1-1 after Smith Rowe has opened it.
Yeah, but then literally the defending for the Calvin Bassey goal from Burnley is atrocious, like absolutely atrocious. How the hell has Harry Wilson just lobbed a ball into the box, and Calvin Bassey has just had like almost a standing like jump with 5 people around him just to nod it into the back of the net.
To be fair, the man is huge.
I know he's huge, but still, like there's 3 men directly around him and 5 men like in the 18-yard box. Like, you can't be having that going in, can you?
No, and that's what I'm saying. Like the defense didn't turn up in this one. They created enough Burnley created enough to win this game, but the defense didn't turn up, and it's like. In other games, they've been too defensive and they haven't created enough. And then in other games, they've created enough and the defence hasn't kept their end of the bargain, sort of thing. They've not been putting consistent games together, and that is obviously like what happens when you're down the bottom. Like the same can be said for anyone who's struggling. The inconsistency leads to the struggles. From a Fulham point of view, yeah, it's a fortunate opener for Smith Rowe, but right place, right time. Calvin Bassey. Massive towering header, and then he had the balloon Dior moment of what could have been a Puskas goal.
Did you see Iwobi in that? Yeah, that was so funny. If no one's not seen that yet, it's Chukwu. Oh my god,
It's Calvin Bassey and Alex Iwobi discussing the goal, and Iwobi's commenting on it from like all the different phases, like when Bassey makes the defensive clearance, and then when he's running down the line and he's like thinks he's prime Lionel Messi, and then he goes to take the shot, and that ball was still flying up to Jupiter today.
Well, like that ball's gone to AFCON before us. That absolutely got me. That got me big time.
Yeah.
Then Wilson basically goes on to win the game with a lovely finish to. Yeah, whilst Fulham are breaking on Burnley, another goal for Wilson. He's seeming like prime Messi to me at the moment. Like, I think maybe just because I saw him like live a couple of weekends ago. But yeah, and then there's a lot of saves made by Leno.
I
But
was going to say Bern Leno came up big in this one. He was doing like it reminded me of like Peter Schmeichel, like growing up watching him making those like rush out, make your
big
body
save,
big sort of saves, and like just give the defender give the attacker a nightmare to try and like get the ball past you. They're gonna like half the time shoot into your body sort of thing, and like yeah, like some of those saves from Leno were really Schmeichel-esque for me.
they weren't. He does a big job to keep them in it. But then Burnley do get a consolation from Son with 5 minutes to go. But even with that, I just don't think Burnley were ever going to get an equaliser in this game.
No, they had a couple half chances after that to try and like get an equaliser, and it just never looked. None of them were clean, and another game that, as I say, Burnley do what felt like enough in attack, but don't have it concede too many at the other end. And yeah, whilst it's looking bleak for West Ham, it's looking
exactly.
even bleaker for Burnley.
It's looking so bad for Burnley at the moment. But listen to this stat as well from this game. It's the first time Fulham have won at Turf Moor in 74 years.
Wow.
Couldn't believe that was real when I first heard it. And then I went and looked back at it. And that's not even just like Premier League era. That is any fucking format. Mental, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah. I just could not believe it. But yeah, cool. Okay, anything else to touch on that game, or should we move on to the Tyne derby?
Let's move on to the Wear-Tyne derby.
Why gotta be like that?
It has to be called well, not even just when who wins it, but when it's this way around. It's the Wear-Tyne derby. I've been informed.
God, you're a loser.
Hey,
feisty game.
Respect the geography.
Feisty game. Not a very good game. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna
shit game on it. It was a shit game. I think I don't think either of these fans cared that it was a shit game. They kind of wanted to see it become like a brawl.
Yeah, I mean, no Sunderland fan is going to care that this was a shit game. My prediction, the first half of my prediction has come in. I think Sunderland can beat them home and away. So
to be fair, did you know that they are now 10 unbeaten in the Premier League against Newcastle? Obviously, that goes back quite a few years, and they did lose in the FA Cup against them a couple of years ago, which obviously led to the picture after this game where they replicated the Newcastle players taking a picture, even though I guarantee like maybe one Sunderland player was in that squad that played them in the FA Cup a couple of years ago, but they someone passed it on that they needed to do that, and yeah, they did. But yeah, they're 10 unbeaten in the derby in the Premier League.
Well, mate, they were still beating them, like, basically in their relegation threatened seasons. Each year they'd still get a win, weren't they? Because I remember the Canio one, what other ones were? Yeah. I just remember it was like, even though they'll go down, they'd still win.
It always kicked off their great escape. Like, it was like, get a big win against Newcastle and then some other results. But yeah, this one was a very, very scrappy game. I think Mukiele, it started with like Mukiele just smashing into Dan Burn. No, it knew he wasn't getting the ball, just committed to the slide about 5 yards before he needed to, and was like, yep, I'm going to clatter him.
I think he broke his ribs as well. That was a heavy, heavy challenge. Then you have Robbie's challenge, where do you think he should still be on that pitch after booking in an ankle stamp? I'm not really sure how he's got away with it completely with that one.
Yeah, he's very, very lucky to stay on the pitch in this one. Maybe it's one of those that because of the nature of the first yellow card, the ref has gone, I don't really want to send him off because, like, it's flashing it like a fake yellow card, really a booking. I know it's not great, but it's not really harming anyone, is it? Like, this was a yellow, possibly even a red on its own. Like the way he goes in studs on Miley, like
it's not a nice challenge at all. Yeah, it's more of an orange card, isn't it? But I think he's done well to stay on the pitch.
The fact that he's on a yellow, he should be off, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. But then you have Big Nick turning up, putting the ball in the back of the net for Newcastle.
It's a great finish.
Wait, checks notes, puts the ball in the back of the net for Sunderland. It is a great finish. Like, he's been scoring those at the other end for fun, so I don't know what... It's trying to figure out what he was going to do with that header as well, because at least with the Mavropanos one, you can be like, oh yeah, unsighted, no hope. With this one, you're like, there was no reason for him to be like trying to put his head onto that one.
Well, no, like, because like he's not being challenged, like there's no pressure around him, so it's like, all right, well, why are you heading that out for a corner then? Because like you could like really probably would have hoped that Ramsdale would have come out and got it. Like it was whipped in a bit, to be fair. Like there was pace on the cross, but you kind of like Voltemada should know that he's not in the position. The way that he's running towards goal, he's not in a position to really make a good play on that ball. And as it showed by absolutely thunder bastard header behind, like past Ramsdale, who is not particularly good anyway, so he was never going to save. Like it maybe Pope gets a hand to it or something. Like maybe someone with like a bit better than Ramsdale might be able to swipe at it and like knock it onto the bar, something like that. But Ramsdale weren't doing that, so it just absolutely goes flying past him, and yeah, just head in hands moment for Nick.
Yeah, that is. It's not good, is it? That could be, without being too fucking dramatic, that could be a season derailing own goal for him and Newcastle. Like, you know what I mean? Because they just rebuilt their season after the.
A bit over dramatic.
I know it's been over dramatic, but well, I'm quite dramatic saying like their win against City has kickstarted their season. What they went 2-3 wins out 4, like a few games unbeaten, and then to lose to your biggest rivals in, let's be honest, one of the biggest games of the season for them.
I still think it's just going to go. This is what I predicted before. It's going to go of the way of the home team. So like, I don't think you'll. We'll see when they play the reverse fixture. But at Newcastle, they don't travel well this season at all. They play Chelsea at home in their next game, so they'll be looking to bounce back at St James's Park. Like I said, with this one, I was going to back the home team, so I backed Sunderland to win this one. If you give me the reverse fixture tomorrow, I'm probably backing Newcastle just based on them playing at home. Like Sunderland have got an absolute fortress. They're unbeaten at Stadium of Light.
Mate, my predictions are just coming true this year. West Ham are going down, and Sunderland are going to beat Newcastle home and away. You just got to accept it.
You sad old man. Anything else other than this? Similar to how I mentioned Forest, like Newcastle are also not built to come from behind. They've lost all 6 matches that they've gone behind in this season. So something that Eddie Howe used to be quite. I feel like Newcastle were quite good at under Eddie Howe, where they like would galvanise if they were on the ropes. They have not been this season. Once they're down, they look down and out.
Yeah, 100%. My only other thing, take this lovely bit of shithousery from Sunderland, like on the screen where, you see it as well, screen where they usually have the visitors badge and name, whatnot. They just had visitors for Newcastle. That is like chef's kiss shithousery. That's exactly what I want in my Premier League football.
Yeah, love that decision made by some random person who's just like, how do we get one over on Newcastle? Let's not put their badge up and just put visitors. Brilliant.
Fucking brilliant. But yeah, if we have any Sunderland fans listening, I hope you're still drunk and enjoying yourself, even though it's Wednesday now, fully deserved. And yeah, absolutely loving it. Life back in the Prem. Cool. Move on to one of the draws for our 14 sides. Brentford 1, Leeds 1. I mean, I watched this game. It was not very memorable. It was not very good either. So
snooze fest, this one. Really, really low quality game, but quite evenly matched, I thought. Like I don't think either team were very good, but there was a lot of shots, but they were just seemingly always straight at the goalkeepers. Like whether it was Perry or Kelleher, all of the chances were just going straight down their throats, and took a while for there to be any sort of quality in this game. And yeah, I think the first bit of quality was Henderson just showing experience and nous to follow that in and find the soft zone in the box and where the ball was going to drop to. And he gets his first Brentford goal. Really nice Diogo Jota tribute celebration as well. Like props to Henderson for that.
Yeah, I think he gets lucky with the 2 deflections though. Both of
for sure.
For sure, yeah. Like it's the first one to like tee it up perfectly for him, and then the one that looks like he kind of like puts it into the goal, but I guess it was still on target as well because they've given it to Henderson, haven't they? Yeah, I mean, highlight there. I mean, there was a penalty shout for an offside in the first half, which I think would have been very harsh on Goodmanson if they'd given the penalty. So I think it was good that it's not
Utara went down way too easily. Yeah, no, I mean he's offside anyway, but Utara went down way too easily. So yeah, shouldn't have been a penalty, even if he had been onside. But yeah.
Yeah, and then you have the Dominic Calvert-Lewin goal, which I've just put down as the most Dominic Calvert-Lewin goal I've ever seen. Like, because Leeds were playing the blue kit as well. It's like I just thought that was him in an Everton kit doing that because I've seen him score that type of header so many times before. you know what
this
I
was
mean?
my phrase of the day. This was his bread and butter goal. Like this is the goal that Calvert-Lewin has made a career off of scoring. Like they're just that knocking a header in at the back post. He scored 4 games in a row now. To be fair to him, I said the other day, I've made it well known that I don't think Calvert-Lewin is that prolific at this level. I have a feeling he's going to go on like a 20 game without scoring streak after. Like I feel like he's just taking too much luck right now. Like he's got
Like
four.
this is
He's got scored in 4 games in a row. He's bound to go on about a 25 game like scoreless streak.
Stop saying stuff that you want to happen and trying to will it into existence because you don't want him scoring goals for
Why? He's
Leeds.
got nothing left.
Jesus, but I
To be
think
fair to Leeds, this is a point at the G-Tech is a really good result.
like, that's it.
It might not seem it like 1-1, pretty boring game. Like Brentford are 4 points ahead of Leeds in the table, so like you could argue like, oh, mate, that's a game that you'd hope to win to try to sort of get some more breathing space for Leeds and get also Brentford down in the mire sort of thing. But like the way that Brentford have been playing at home this season and obviously for years, like a point at the G-Tech is a really good result for a team just outside the relegation zone for sure.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think it deserved to be a draw, but the draw definitely better for Leeds. And like we said, they're not losing during this Christmas run, which we thought they'd lose almost every game in. Like they've got 5 points, 3 games, 6 point gap now. It's massive for them, and yeah, I can easily see them picking up 3 points against us next weekend. So a little bit worried.
Well, I mean, Ampadu almost wins this one from range at the end of the game as well. So like one thing about Leeds is they have the appetite to win these games. They are hungry for these points. Like they are going right until the last minute to be able to try and get victories, even though a point is a good result.
Yeah, and I think Ellen Road is just going to be a fortress for them now. Like especially under the lights. Like that's why 8 o'clock kickoff for us there. I am worried. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Cool. Okay, let's move on to our losses then for the other 14 teams. I guess we can kind of power through these. Apart from the Brighton one, I'd like to spend a little bit of time talking about Brighton's 2-0 loss at Liverpool.
You don't want to talk about you don't want to go for the Palace one first, no?
No. We can leave that.
Well, actually, we can talk about the Brighton one because I think they played really well, and I
Yeah,
think
they
they
did.
actually deserved a point from this game.
That's what makes it even more enjoyable for me.
Sorry, Brighton fans. I'm fighting a losing battle with Alex here, but yeah, I thought they created loads of chances and they were really unlucky to lose.
Yeah,
Yes, the defending at times is a problem. Like obviously we had another early fast goal with Ekatike's one where Brighton have played their way into trouble. They're trying to get it out, and then eventually Yankuba Minte just tries to hoof it clear, but it's like one of those cardinal sins that like even I learned from early coaching years of like don't clear it into the center of the pitch.
when I saw it, I was like, oh, he's putting a ball in for. Like, I was like, that's a really bad cross into the box for like an attacking cross. And I was like, oh my god, it's a fucking pass. It's like he's hoofed it into his own penalty area. He's fucked it. But yeah, that was not a good setup. I mean, yeah, it comes from a bad back pass from Lewis Dunk, and yeah, I think Brighton just weren't really switched on. Well, they got caught by Liverpool's press there, and yeah, just I won't say unlucky, but yeah, not too good from him there. And then yeah, they just had their chances. They seemed to batter Liverpool a bit throughout the game. I can't lie and fucking hide that and say yeah, like they weren't doing that. And their big saves from Alisson throughout the game to keep Liverpool in it. But yeah, I think they could have been there all night and they wouldn't have scored though, would they?
Well, that's the thing they said on the commentary, and I was like, yeah, that maybe rings true because like they did have so many opportunities, and they just either ran into Alisson or ran into a block, or just didn't have the sort of get the shot on target kind of thing. Because they definitely created enough, but yeah, they didn't get the breakthrough that they kind of deserved from their play. Diego Gomez was up like doing loads in this game, like good and bad. He had a little bit of the Nigel de Jongs on a Liverpool player at one point where he kind of like goes in with his like studs up into I think it was McAllister.
Yeah, I think that's another orange card, isn't it? Like
Yeah. It was like a reminiscent of that Nigel de Jong in the World Cup.
World
Not
Cup
as bad
final.
for sure, but like yeah, and yeah, but he also had a chance, probably one of the better chances for Brighton.
Well, he missed an open goal, doesn't he? Let's be honest. Like So all the better chances, he's fucking sliding and misses it. And yeah, you just don't think they got the luck that day at all. And then Liverpool get the second goal from a corner. It's pretty much game over. Bit of woeful. You got one who's defending Ekitike for it, but I think if you're Brighton at that point and you're basically knocking on a door and nothing's happening, yeah, that second goal is going to be the killer for you. And then it just seemed like Liverpool were just looking to be on a break for the rest of the game to catch Brighton out and could have had a third or a fourth. And BBC, especially on Match of Day, was just like the Mo Salah loving, wasn't it? With the highlights. I don't really understand how they got so many highlights out of this game, and most of them were just about Mo Salah coming on for an injured Gomez, and then just every time he touches it, every time he does anything, it's just a bit like, okay, let's go.
Look, he's gonna move. He's gonna do something. It's like, all right, he did a shit pass. Great. Was that worthy of being in the highlight package?
Exactly that. But,
yeah, not Brighton's day. Played well, not their day. Onto another team, it wasn't their day. Like, and they did almost everything they could. Arsenal 2, Wolves 1.
God damn you, Wolves! You couldn't give us it. You just couldn't give us everything we wanted.
You were nearly right. Like, I mean, I know my prediction was a bit of a joke. But you thought Wolves had a chance in this one. They obviously made it ugly. They were desperate to come out of this one with a scrappy 0-0, 1-1. Like, whatever they could get, they were just desperate for some sort of positivity coming out of it.
My thing is though, if they had played like this, even if it is scrappy and horrid, like they played against some of the other teams in the league, they would have points, they would have got draws, they would have got things out of it. And it's got to be frustrating if you're a Wolves fan being like, okay, we've gone and done early Emirates. Why haven't we done that in the past 16 games? Like, it's beyond frustrating. But, I mean, Wolves struggled from corners throughout this game, which, I mean, is kind of to be expected when you go into the Emirates. I've watched Palace struggle with corners there for the last, what feels like 2-3 years. But
you mean Tony Pulis's Arsenal?
Yeah. Oh man!
I mean, the way that Wolves conceded these goals is just absolutely gut wrenching. Like the Johnston one is so freakishly unfortunate. Like I know these happen every now and then where it cannons off the crossbar or the post and hits the goalkeeper in the back, but you don't often see this one where it's hit the post and then hits him in the back, and like the angle of it and such is just so freakish that it's just like. Really, it's just like sign of like when your chips are down, just get absolutely kicked in the teeth by another one, and then later like they get the equalizer. It's so chaotic what leads to Arokadare's goal. Like the one thing I can say from a negative point of view is there was absolutely zero attacking plan that led to that goal. It was just chaos of like Wolves attackers just going, shit, I've got the ball now. Oh, let me try and run it. Like, get it away from me. Get it. I don't want this. I want to just hoof it into the box because there was just like it was just bouncing around in and out of the box, coming like, and then eventually. Assist from 18-year-old Mane gets a cross in, and Arokadare gets a header on it, and then absolute scenes, which was
scenes, wasn't it? I was saying that must be the highlight of the Wolves fans and players' season because they were absolutely like thought they wanted going mental, and I want more packages of Arsenal players conceding in the last minute, being fucking miserable. It's great. It's absolutely great. Hook it into my veins. But yeah, so unlucky for the home goal to make it 2-1.
Yeah, Mascara's one, like Mavropanos and Voltemada before him, just kind of one of those that's like, what are you doing? Or like it's just kind of hit you. It's unfortunate, but yeah, that's just the way things are going for Wolves this season. That was going to happen.
It's so similar to the Mavropanos one because he's like eyes closed, not just playing the man again. Hits his head. Sam Johnston, no chance. Yeah, Mascara. I mean, you don't really rate him much, do you? Either. Or
Mascara?
No, I'm thinking of someone else in the Wolves.
I think you're thinking of someone else. I think he's maybe had a couple of mistakes this season, but I don't think I've been too down on him. Maybe I'll have a think about Mascara and see if I see where I land. I'm not going to blame him for this one though.
No, you can't blame him for this one. I'm gutted for Wolves because that would have been such a big momentum shift for them. But maybe Rob Edwards is going to look at him and be like, okay, we'll take that tactic into more games and see what we can get. And I mean, it's probably too late now. We shouldn't really count anyone off, but 11, well, not 11, Jesus Christ, it's 14 points adrift? Is there any coming back from that in Christmas? There isn't, is there?
You don't think so, but crazier things have happened. But yeah, no, I think there's going to be a big struggle. Let's go through these last two pretty nondescript games. I think like Chelsea
Yeah.
2, Everton nil. Like the sort of Everton caught out at the back a few times. Obviously, the Dewsbury Hall hamstring injury
Yeah,
kind of
that's
kicked them in the teeth early, but from what I've read, it's not going to be significant. Like it's not a tear or anything like that. It's just like sort of a strain sort of thing. So he might miss a couple of weeks, but thankfully, it doesn't seem like it's a serious hamstring injury that's going to keep him out for like months. So
yeah, that was my main worry for this because as soon as you see him go off early, Everton's game plan changes. The Moyes curse of the top six comes into play, you think, and yeah, they're probably just not as sharp, not maybe not sharp, but not as much of an attacking threat with Dewsbury Hall, Ndai, and Grealish all going at once. So yeah, and I think
well, I
Chelsea
thought
just took
Grealish played
advantage
pretty
of
well in
that.
this game.
He did play it well, but I think if you're not having to close all three of them down, then Chelsea can just be like, okay, we're just going to focus on this part of the pitch. And yeah, it just felt like game over quite early for Everton for me.
Yeah, yeah, no, fair. And then I'll let you talk about. Oh, you weren't at Selhurst on Sunday, were you? You knew this one was going to be a thrashing.
Yeah, after my antics in Europe, and I went to the darts on Saturday as well. I gave myself the Sunday break, gave my tickets to mate whose dad's a City fan and has always wanted to watch him play. So I thought, give it away because I thought I'd know exactly what's going to happen. We would attack all in the first half, miss our chances, then run out of energy, and yeah, lose 3-0. So
I was going to say Palace played pretty well, to be honest. Like you look at the result, and it obviously that wouldn't seem like that, but just didn't take their chances. I thought Adam Wharton was sensational in this game. He played some beautiful passes. He almost scored. Did feel like maybe an audition for Pep from him, but you know
yeah,
he was absolutely class. And but yeah, as you say, this didn't really matter after the Dublin delights.
yeah, let get more why. Well, I know Wharton's going very soon, but the media are picking up on it more and more and more now. Like I'm seeing it like everywhere, and it's just that feeling of like, yep, that's he's going soon. But hopefully that means he's going for 120 mil and not 30 mil. But we can only pray. Cool. Yeah, you can laugh at me.
Going as well. It's all
Feel free to laugh.
crumbling.
It's all falling apart. It's all going to shit. I knew it'd go to shit. We're gonna win the Conference League before it all goes to shit. That's the dream. God, years time we'll be sat here. We're going to be relegated, rock bottom, and you're going to be fourth. It's going to be horrid. Cool. Okay, should we get into our predictions then for next week?
Let's do it.
Cool. Okay. So got early kickoff Newcastle Chelsea. That was a hard one to predict. I'm going to go 2-0, 2-1 Newcastle at St James's Park.
I'm gonna go 3-2 Newcastle.
Yeah, it does feel like a Newcastle win that one, doesn't it?
Yeah, as I say, back 'em at home.
Yeah, nice. Cool. Then Bournemouth Burnley at the Vitality. I can only see a Bournemouth win here. I'm going to go 3-0 Bournemouth.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 2-1 Bournemouth. See if they've got their defensive issues sorted.
Then Brighton, Sunderland. That is a hard one to call. I'm just going to sneak it 1-0 Brighton just because Sunderland's away form hasn't been that great, I guess.
Yeah, I think there'll be goals in this. I'm gonna go for a 3-1 Brighton win.
Yeah, I get you there. Cool. City, West Ham. Easy, 7-0 City.
Yeah, 5-0 City. No complaint, no complaints here. We're going to go there and make it the dirtiest game ever. We might get one on the break. Even that be a long shot. Watch. We'll go ahead in the first minute again, and then get battered 5-1.
Mate, watch you win it 2-1. It's got that feeling of it, actually. I'm going to take that back. I'm going to go 2-1
No,
West
it
Ham.
doesn't. Shut up. Shut up.
Dude.
Stop trying to stop. Shut up. Wolves Brentford.
Let me gaslight you some more, man.
No, shut up.
Wolves, Brentford. I'm going to go 1-1. I think Wolves are going to get a pointer. I just think they've got to learn their lessons from that last game, and they could do it against Brentford, I think, especially Brentford away from home.
Brentford on the road. I still, until I see something, I'm going to go against Wolves, unfortunately. I'm going to go Brentford 1-0.
Cool. Then Everton, Arsenal, first 8 o'clock kickoff. I'm going to go Arsenal. I'm going to go Everton 2-1. I think Hill Dickinson could be rocking 8 o'clock. Up in Liverpool, yeah, I think they could do them.
If Dewsbury hauls out of this one, then I don't know if they're going to have enough in that attack, as you say. If they sort of mark out and die and Grealish out of the game, I don't know if Everton will have enough going forward. But I think it'll be close. But I think Arsenal will win this 1-0.
Cool. Then Leeds Palace. I'm going to go 2-1 Leeds. I think we're going to be tired after Thursday night. I think it's just going to be one step too far for us, and I think if Leeds get an early goal, they could literally pin us back for the rest of the game.
Panicking. I haven't done my weekly Desmond, but I also agree that I don't see Palace going away to Leeds under the lights as a result that they'll probably get something from. I also agree, and as annoying as this is to say, I think Leeds are going to win this 2-1. Come on, do us a favour.
Nah. Oh, well, honestly, man, I wish I could, but I just can't see it. Cool. And then Villa United, big Sunday game. I think it's going to be an enjoyable game with Villa probably coming out on top, maybe 3-2.
Yeah, interesting one. I think Villa are going to win 2-1.
Cool. Then Monday night game, Fulham and Forest.
Weekly Desmond. I haven't done a weekly. It's my last chance. 2-2. No idea why. Just 2-2.
I'm going to go 0-0, I think. It doesn't inspire me, that game at the moment. I think it's two teams whose seasons are kind of going nowhere without being too harsh to either of them. It's kind of just a bit about just mid-table security now. Cool. Okay, I guess let's wrap up there. Feel free to rate and review the podcast and tell your friends. Follow us on socials at Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky and Reddit at other14fc podcast, and email in at other14fcpodcast@gmail.com. Yeah, I don't know when we're going to be podcasting next, because next one is Christmas Madness, really. So yeah, hopefully you'll be hearing from us at all sporadic times over the Christmas period.
We'll find a time.
We'll find a way. It'll be on a shitty Bluetooth phone, just chatting shit stuff. But anyway, mate, cool. Okay, I'll catch you next week.
Cheers, guys.